You! Identify yourselves! Huh? A blade! It couldn't be!
Together, Blade!
Yes! Withdraw at once! Your campaign of invasions ends here! What the heck are they doing?
Never mind that! Attack!
The reinforcements are taking on heavy damage. They won't be able to hold the line.
How did this?
It's all over now.
When did they show up? Who are you? Assad, captain of the 2nd Mage Company of the Magedom of Janam.
I too am of the Magedom of Janam. Crowdkilled, of the Blades of Night's Vale.
A Janam Mage Company? And the Blades? Ah! Leave this area at once. The Magedom will not countenance this attempt to expand the Order's territory.
But the Magedom? Here?
I knew your one true way was just a sham. You couldn't even predict our coming here.
Ha! What would an unbeliever know about that?
Of course we can't predict everything. The one true way hasn't been fully realized yet. But the fact we can see glimpses of the future even at this early stage proves the Order's truth. You can't understand that, can you? But the Order still hopes to save even such barbarous fools as you.
That's exactly the sham he's talking about. Now pull back, or fall before my blade. The choice is yours.
I guess we have no other choice.
Fall back.
It won't be like this next time. Just you wait and see.
Puffin! Sir, I want your unit to follow them. Do not, however, engage the enemy. Just make sure they withdraw to Grey Ridge.
Yes, sir. Certainly, sir.
It won't be like this next time, he said.
I suppose that means they don't plan on giving up. What a nuisance. We're sorry to barge in on you like this. You're from Citro Village, aren't you?
Yes. Yes, we are. The situation was so urgent we brought our troops near your village without warning. We apologize.
Well, you just saved us. We're not complaining.
I'm impressed that you managed to hold out against the Order's army as long as you did.
Your bravery is worthy of praise.
What's going on exactly?
By the way, I hear you have some special books that give you some sort of mysterious powers.
Huh? How did you know that?
Logan and Chutzpah told me. And they said you went to Sinus to learn more about them.
Yeah, that's right. But we didn't end up finding out anything.
Well, to tell the truth, we have a similar sort of book in the Magedom.
You do?
I actually don't know very much about it, but I hear the magic our mage forces use is a product of research on that book.
Really?
If you'd like to find out more about such books, then all the more reason you should come to the Mage City. There are researchers there that are dedicated to studying these books.
Huh.
Once you and your people have decided whether or not to ally with the Magedom, please come talk to me.
We gotta thank you. Have a look. Let's see. Way to go! You sure worked hard. Here's your reward. Way to go! You sure worked. Here's your reward. Way to go! Here's your reward. Way to go! You sure worked. Here's your reward. Way to go! 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 Here's your reward. Want to see all the stuff you've done? See you later!
Those guys are way stronger than me now. And thanks to that, the village was saved. That's a good thing. So why? Why am I feeling this way? Am I so petty I can't be happy for my students' success?
No, there's nothing wrong with you.
Who's there?
If they had surpassed you after years of effort and experience, you would have congratulated them for it. But they simply touched a book and instantly acquired power you could never dream of. This is a future you never would have imagined in the past. A very unfair reality. That's why you can't accept it. That's why you can't forgive.
No, I'm not like that.
All people fear the unexpected, the unforeseen, the unfair. Join us. The one true way exists to save people just like you.
But
What do you say? Have you decided whether or not you will form an alliance with the...
His Lordship, the Mage Lord Anash VIII, First Empress Consort, Lady Shyla, His Royal Highness, Prince Shan. You may now enter, visitors.
I am Danash VIII, the Mage Lord of the Magedom of Janam. Welcome to the Magedom, brave Citro village heroes.
Nice to meet you.
You're being rude.
Huh? Rude?
That's all right. Don't give it another thought. I may be the Mage Lord, but to you non-Magedom citizens, I'm just another human being, I know. There's no need to act as if you were my subjects. And how could I fail to be delighted by such bold daring in a potential ally? Don't you agree, Shyla?
Exactly right. What delightful people you have brought us, Assad.
Your ladyship.
What about you, Shams?
Yes, Father? I had heard that these were the brave people who stood unflinchingly against the Order, despite an overwhelming disadvantage in number. I imagine they would be large, robust soldiers. But excuse me for saying this, their physiques and ages don't look so very different from my own. I am surprised and impressed. Their bravery and willpower is an example even to myself.
Wow, to have even the prince say things like that about us.
Gee, you're making us feel like we really did something special.
That's exactly what Shams and I are saying. I know why you have come to the Mage City today, but allow me to ask you formally. The Order of the One True Way keeps expanding its influence by confusing people with dubious prophecies. Their military power is now great enough to challenge even our magedom. Several small countries have already been crushed and annexed by force. I truly wish to stop their menace and free people from this delusion they call the One True Way. To achieve this, I need the cooperation of people of strength and courage, such as yourselves. If ever your homeland is in danger, Magedom forces will take action. In return, will you agree to lend us your strength?
What do you mean? I mean, it's just only we seem to get anything out of this deal.
Are you saying you feel it's too good to be true?
No, I don't mean that I think you're trying to scam us. It's just...
You don't want to feel indebted to us, perhaps. In that case, would you feel more at ease if I were to ask a favor of you now?
Yeah, that'd make me feel better. But what do you want us to do?
I understand that you have acquired chronicles and received their powers.
Chronicles? You mean these books?
Yes, that's right. We did.
I'm sure you've already heard there was a chronicle in the Magedom, too. I'd like to entrust you with it.
What?
Huh?
You can learn more at the Arcane Academy. The Chronicle is there as well. We want you to use the Chronicle. That is the act of cooperation with the Magedom I ask. Will you do it?
Okay, sure. Why not?
Why don't you go with them, Shyla? Lizland didn't seem too happy about the idea.
As you wish. I will lead you to the Arcane Academy. Please, follow me.
Well then, may our alliance be mutually beneficial.
When you have a chance, please tell me about your heroic adventure.
Oh, just a moment, Assad.
Yes, your lordship.
Where is Crowdkilled?
Your lordship, Crowdkilled has returned to the Blades outpost. She said that thanks to him and the help of his party, the role of the Blades of Nightsvale this time was a little more than support. She said she did not deserve an audience with your lordship.
Humble as ever, I see. I would have liked to see her, though. I see. You may go now.
Your lordship.
Welcome to the Arcane Academy, brave people of the company. I am Lizlan, second royal wife. I am in charge of the academy.
How do you do?
Her bagship?
What did you just say? Why do you always have to...
Hey, I ain't the one that called her that.
Yes, I'm sure you did not. Now, who would say such a thing? I can think of only one person. But what about you, Shyla? Any idea who?
Nope. No idea.
Oh, you and your jokes.
They're scaring me.
Hey, how much longer were you guys planning to do this for?
My apologies. Now then, this way to the back.
Lady Lizlan, Lady Shira.
This scholar is named Mubal. His specialty is the research of chronicles. Mubal, these are the young heroes from Citro Village.
Oh, the heroes they say got the mark of the stars by touching chronicles. I'm so glad you came to see us.
We're glad to be here. I ain't exactly sure what we're supposed to do here, though.
Mubal, please explain it to them.
Yes, your ladyship. First of all, please take a look at this. The chronicle has been passed down in the magedom for generations.
Hey, this is...
Do you feel anything?
Yes, the same feeling we got from those books we found.
I thought you would.
These books, what are they anyway?
A very difficult question. We've been researching that very thing for years, but we think there's a chance they're not really books at all, although they look that way to human eyes.
What do you mean?
The perception of a human being is limited. It may be that their true quiddity is unknowable to us. Perhaps seeing them as mere books is the closest we can come to the truth.
I didn't understand a word you just said.
I don't blame you. Even I don't fully understand it. Anyway, what we do know so far is that each chronicle contains an enormous amount of information. Its contents are far beyond the body and scope of human knowledge. For decades, the magedom has extracted information from its book little by little. Our system of mage arts was developed based on this information. But I would estimate that so far we have extracted only 1 billion, no, less than that. 1/trillionth of the knowledge that the chronicle contains.
Wow, chronicles are really that incredible.
Who made these chronicles and how?
I'm afraid we have no idea. Some theories suggest they've existed since the beginning of the world.
Huh.
I think that is enough of a lecture for now. Now, please touch the chronicle, both of you.
Okay.
All right.
Mark of the stars that dwells in me, be manifest as the signs demand!
I saw something.
No question about it, just like our books.
You mean you can actually see the content of the chronicle?
And what about the mark of the stars?
Hey, yeah. I feel like I got some new kind of energy flowing through me now.
You do? But this is incredible!
Why is it called the Mark of the Stars, I wonder?
According to someone who saw one of those visions, one of the people in the vision had called it that. I'm afraid we don't know any more about its meaning or origin, however.
Anyhow, it looks like everything went well, so why don't you lend the book to these kids, Lislan? You did mention that that is what his lordship said, but I wonder, is that truly the Mage Lord's wish? What, you don't trust me? Oh no, of course I do. Very well. We entrust you with the Chronicle, but I want you... As Mubal just said, by studying the Chronicle, the Magedom was able to perfect a system of mage arts. Mage arts are skills that can be used by anyone after undergoing training. In contrast, however, there are very few people like you who can acquire the Mark of the Stars.
Even here in the Arcane Academy, there's only one.
Mubal!
Yes, your ladyship. Forgive me, your ladyship.
Huh?
In any case, this is how rare and invaluable you people are.
So you're gonna take the Chronicle, and this scholar here is gonna observe and learn. That's the deal.
Okay, now I get it.
I'm excited about accompanying you. Thank you for having me.
Hey, sure, no problem. And so we made a deal with the Magedom of Janum.
From now on, if the Order tries to interfere with us again, the Magedom will send support troops.
Just knowing we've made that kind of deal will make the Order think twice about attacking us, I bet.
Well, it sure is a relief to know we have the Magedom on our side.
Yes, I'm really glad.
And this guy came with us too. He knows a lot about books.
My name is Mubal. I'm from the Arcane Academy. I'll be staying here for a while to research the Chronicles. It's very nice to meet all of you.
We'd like to know more about those books, too. Please tell us more later.
I'll tell you as much as I know.
Now, I wonder what kind of cooperation the Magedom will want from us.
Well, I guess we won't know until the time comes.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But even if the Magedom wasn't promising us support, I'd still want to help them, because they're fighting the Order's army.
Huh?
We can't do much about people who join the Order on their own. But the Order's forcing people to join by using military force. Now that's just plain wrong.
Right. And Crotokeel told us the Order took over her country too.
And now that's what has happened to Grey Ridge too. Before it was never completely an Order town.
But then the Order troops showed up, and all of Grey Ridge was forced to buckle under.
I don't want to say, as long as Citro is okay, I don't care what happens to other towns. If I can help stop the Order, I want to do it.
We can't do much on our own, but if we can help even a little by joining forces with the Magedom, I say yes.
Thanks, guys.
Our company will defend Citro Village and ally with the Magedom to fight the Order. In that case, I guess we better make this our place of operations, huh?
Yeah, it's close to the village and handy for getting word to the Magedom if we have to.
It's kind of broken down and crumbling, but it's already starting to feel like home.
Okay, I guess we need a name for it then.
What is it with you and names?
Hey, it's our castle, right? We gotta have a name for it.
Yeah, it definitely needs a name.
You decide.
From now on, this castle's gonna be our headquarters!
Lord Chancellor Velfred.
Ah, Deidre.
It seems those brats have joined forces with the Magedom of Janam.
Another meaningless battle we have to fight. It's such a shame people don't realize. If only they would wait in peace for the day the one true way is realized, we would all be saved. Please secure the 8th Chronicle quickly. We don't have much time left. If we don't get our hands on it soon, we'll find ourselves in a very grave situation.
Yes, I know. I've already taken several measures to deal with it.
Good. I'm counting on you.
Yes, sir.
4 more to go. We've come all this way, but it's still not getting any easier.
Ah, there you are.
What's up?
We have a kind of strange visitor. Could you come to the gateway?
A strange visitor?
Here he is. I brought him.
Oh, thank you. Huh? You're the head of this fortress?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. But that just happened recently.
That's funny. Oh, sorry, I never introduced myself. My name's Atri. As you can see, I came from another world through this gateway.
What's funny?
Well, I came to this world a few times before. I'm friends with the people in this fortress.
Huh?
But when I got here today, none of the people I know are here anymore. I wonder what happened to them. The old head of this fortress is a warrior, a guy a lot older than me. He has silver hair and sky blue armor. Really cool looking, do you know him?
Huh?
I'm afraid we haven't seen anybody like that. We just got here recently, but it didn't look like anybody had been here for a long time before that.
Really? Some of the worlds of the Infinity are pretty similar to each other, so maybe I came to the wrong place. Well, sorry to bother you. I guess I'll be going.
Goodbye now. Oh no. I should have told him this whole forest actually, only appeared out of the blue recently. Maybe that had something to do with that visitor's story. Is anything wrong?
Hey, Hotspot.
Yes?
That guy just said silver hair and sky blue armor, right? Doesn't that sound like one of those guys in those visions we saw when we touched the books?
Oh, now that you mention it, that does sound right.
I wonder if that guy will come back sometime.
report waiting. Let's see. So you'll take on this quest? You've got a quest report waiting. You're on this quest now, right? Let's see. Way to go! You sure worked hard. Here's your reward. You're only half done. Finish up.
You there! Stop!
Stop! This way! Hurry! Okay, you're safe now. I'll take care of him. You go on ahead. Huh?
There don't seem to be any more pursuers.
That reckless idiot! Wasn't he told not to engage the Order unnecessarily? But they defeated those Order soldiers so effortlessly!
Hey, you okay?
Yeah, I think so. Thanks a lot. You saved me.
Huh?
What is he?
Whoa! Hey, you! Your shoulder's hurt.
Huh?
But that's not the main issue here.
That's right, it's a monster!
Did they do this to you?
It's nothing. I'm okay.
You ain't okay, we need a doctor.
There are some good doctors in the Mage City, but his appearance might cause quite a bit of a stir. If you take him with you, you'd better hide his face.
Adjutant Malvis, you too?
If Commander Crowdkilled were here, this is what she would have done.
Huh?
Oh.
Okay, back to the Mage City, huh? Let's go!
Are you sure?
Sure or not, we gotta do something about that wound.
I think I like you, kid. Name's Cougar. What's yours?
Now we gotta go. Can you walk or should I carry you?
No, I think I can walk, but thanks anyway.